The following is a presentation of iRacing.com motorsport simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's the SegPay Championship night. 4 drivers, 1 race, 1 champion here tonight, and what a doozy we have for you tonight. Byron Daly, Chad Coleman, JD Laird, Paul Cooper, those 4 drivers. It's all about them here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Who will come out as tonight's champion? Well, they got to finish ahead of each other. The top finishing driver gets to raise the trophy for the championship for this season. It all started way back in February, way back at Daytona. And here we are now in October, and we're here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway getting set for the season finale. I'm Andy Kessler. Joining me in topside in the booth tonight, we got Chris Murdoch, and as always, the lovely and talented Cisco Scaramuza pushing the buttons, getting them to you. And I'll tell you what, Chris, we're in for a good one here tonight. Homestead-Miami Speedway, multiple groove track. Of course, a lot of guys saw that last night as well on the NASCAR PK Antifreeze Series, and then now we get to see it here with the Truck Series. We saw it on Saturday night with our very own United Sim Racing Truck Series getting their season finale at Homestead Saturday night. Now we're here Wednesday night. We kind of know what to expect at this racetrack with these trucks, with the amount that we have on the track. I expect a lot of green flag runs, therefore tire conservation and pit stops are going to be very important here tonight.
Yeah, we've certainly seen a lot of Homestead this past week as all these series are wrapping up. Finally, the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series coming down to an end. We got 4 drivers all wanting for the same thing at such a tricky track in Homestead, getting off that corner and making sure you conserve the tires and not using your stuff up too early, so it should be fun.
It absolutely should be. A quick look at the results from last week. 1 week ago at Phoenix International Speedway, Alex Bergeron finally picked up his first Truck Series win of the season. Did it in dominating fashion, too, leading 70 of the 100 laps there. JD Laird came home second, Richard Beasley third, James Shipman came home in the 4th spot, while Chad Coleman rounded out the top 5. We also got a championship for the segment that's happening as well. We got about 4, well, we probably got about 3 drivers going for it here based on what the points are. Alex Bergeron, with the drop week included, has a slim 2-point lead over Bentley Glazer. Chad Coleman is sitting 6 points back, and then you have to go all 20 points back to Tommy Ryan. Probably not a chance here tonight. Doesn't look like there's enough trucks in the race here tonight for him to make up those 20 points. So Alex Bergeron, Bentley Glazer, and along with Chad Coleman have an opportunity for the segment championship as well. So Chad Coleman, he has an opportunity here tonight to hoist 3 trophies, to win the championship and the segment championship as well. Qualifying, a little bit left to go in qualifying. Looks like a couple drivers still left to head out on the track. Byron Daly currently in the top spot, so right where he wants to be, chasing down his championship run tonight. When we talk about Homestead and the trucks in particular, we talked about just a second ago about how important it is to get off the corners. Center off at this racetrack is so important, especially for these trucks, momentum-based and such long straightaways here.
Yeah, they're really long straightaways coming off of 2 and 4 respectively. Getting off, making sure you're not spinning the tires, conserving all the tires. That's basically going to be what you're going to see the most of. People not pushing their stuff too hard and just making sure they have enough to make it till the end of the run.
We'll take a look at our track facts real quick here. We talked about this, the turns here being multiple grooves. You'll see guys at the bottom, middle, top. The reason being progressive banking. 18 degrees at the bottom, 20 degrees way up at the top. And, of course, these long straightaways we just mentioned, just a mere 3 degrees of banking. They're relatively flat. Also, another trick to this track is getting on and off pit road. You'll see these guys use the access road at both ends of the speedway. There's no speed limit on those, but it can get very treacherous on that apron as well too. Very flat, a lot of dirt, debris, all that stuff gets put on that, and it makes it awfully tough to get on and off pit road. Trying to get as much time as you possibly can. Qualifying's over though. It's time to take a look at tonight's LSRTV starting grid, and right there on the top, as we just mentioned, Byron Daly, one of our chase for the championship drivers, sits there at the top with a 32.073. Richard Beasley, a good qualifying effort for him, will start just to the outside in row number 1. EJ O'Rourke, he's going to start third outside of row number 2. It's going to be another championship hopeful in the number 20 of Chad Coleman. Rounding out your top 5 here tonight, it's last week's winner. It's the 01 of Alex Bergeron.
Yeah, coming in that 6th spot would be the 23 of J.D. Laird, who had a phenomenal run at Phoenix last night. Tommy Ryan in 7th. Paul Cooper in that 21 machine in 8th. Larry Pace in 9th. And Tyler Dalton will round out your top 10.
Garrett Smithley making a rare appearance here in this series. He's going to roll off from that 11th spot. Justin Weaver, going to be a last truck to take qualifying time. He will start in 12th. Alan Cryer, Tyler King, and James Shipman will round out this 15-truck field. Those 3 drivers taking a provisional. As we get set for the pace car to get this field rolling, you talk about a long, grueling season and what it comes down to. What are these championship drivers, Chris, feeling at this point here? Not getting on the track. We're not on the track yet. We're not racing. Or how bad are the nerves? Are they more now, or are they going to get worse as they run?
I'd say they're worse now than when they get on the track. Once they get in the track, they'll get the truck and the track under their feet, and they'll just be going like they normally do. Right now, the nerves are probably running very, very wild in them because they don't know what's going to happen in this race. But I say it'll all calm down when they get on the track.
It definitely will. Our 4 championship contenders for this overall season championship all have qualified in the top 8 tonight, so good efforts by all those drivers in there. And, of course, the other 3 drivers that are going for the overall segment championship looks like we're missing one of them, actually, here tonight. It looks like just the 01 of Alex Bergeron, and we have the 20 of Chad Coleman will be in this one here tonight. So we are missing Bentley Glazer, so he will not come home as a segment championship here tonight. So 2 drivers looking for the segment championship and 4 drivers looking for the overall series championship. We're in for a lot of fun here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Can't wait for this race to get underway for the season finale. One driver will walk out here really happy, other 4 not so much. Hopefully everything stays clean and we get some good racing going on here.
Yeah, we absolutely will. I think for a lot of these chase guys, especially seeing that number 60, he's been fast all season long. To see him up on the pole, they know they can't let him get away too quickly. Maybe some strategy, especially along green flag runs, we might see out of some of these drivers trying to take advantage of maybe some fresh tires to give them the opportunity to come out of here as the championship. For the final time, the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series looks to get underway. It's championship night here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. Pace car now to the safety of pit road, and the green flag will wave. Byron Daly and Richard Beasley, good jump by both of the lines right now. They're side by side heading to turn 1.
Going down into turn 1, they seem to be carrying that side by side. Look for the 41, trying to make it 3 wide. Not going to quite get there. He's going to be on the inside of the 10 as Byron Daly clears the 10 and looks to be going for going away.
He absolutely does. Pretty good jump there off of turn number 2. Gives him the lead right now. Keeps the battle side by side for that second spot. Now EJ O'Rourke to the bottom. He's got a half a truck length gap right now over that number 10 of Beasley, but a good run off the corner. How about Alex Bergeron giving the push to the 10? He's going to keep him honest, keep him side by side going back to turn 1.
Yeah, going through the middle of turn 1, it looks like EJ will clear Richard Beasley as you got another driver pushing up towards the front. That looks to be the number Coleman coming down on the inside. Another one of those chase drivers looking to stay up there to the front and stay up next to Byron Daly.
Yeah, doesn't want to let him get too far away. He's going to take that third spot now off turn number 4. He'll clear the 10 of Richard Beasley. So after starting on the outside of that front row, Richard Beasley already 2 spots lost here. Looking for more, though, because the 01 of Alex Bergeron now to the inside. He'll work him over here in turns 1 and 2. Have the slight advantage now. So we exit turn number 2. It might be a few laps until we see that top side really kick in. It looks like the 10, though, is really committed to that top side, at least as of right now. he'll continue a side-by-side battle now in 3.
Yeah, I would say if he gets a clear opening, you'd see the 10 drop down low. He definitely doesn't want to be up there for too long because the leaders will get away from him. So hopefully he can find an opening, get down there, and gain some more spots back.
Well, that's exactly what he'll try to do. Beasley will actually hang on now to that 4th spot here as they race their way off of turn number 2 once again. How about the battle shaping up for the lead? Just one truck lane separating that 41 of E.J. O'Rourke and the 60 of Byron Daly. Basically bragging rights for that 41 to E.J. O'Rourke here tonight. He'd love to take a win away from any of these chase drivers or any of the competitors that are going for the series or the segment championship as well too. And he finds himself now right there in that battle for first.
Yeah, EJ had a strong run on the at the start, just getting on the inside of Richard Beasley, and he doesn't look to be stopping now. He's trying to make the outside work on Byron, but he's not going to get there. Let's see if he'll have anything going down into 3, as that's given time for Chad Coleman. He looks to be catching up a little bit. Hopefully he can get up there and battle for the championship with Byron.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do, see if he can close that gap here. We work lap number 5. About to complete it now as they head off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway here. Byron Daly has led all 5 laps so far here tonight, but not without any pressure right now. E.J. O'Rourke can actually take a peek to that outside lane heading into turn number 1. Try to get some momentum built up for that 41, see if he can try to make the pass. It's not going to work that time. He's actually going to lose a ton of ground right there. He got a little bit too high possibly, maybe up into the marbles up there. Got a little bit loose, so was able to keep that thing under and not hit the wall. The only problem is it's allowed that 20 of Chad Coleman to close the door.
Yeah, off of 2 there, he looked to get a little bit too high, a little bit too tight. Like I said, getting off the corner is going to be very important. Momentum-based trucks. He lost a lot of momentum. The 20 is catching him, but he's not the only one trying that high line out. You see the 01 of Alex Bergeron trying to get some grip up there, try to make the high line work. Maybe we'll see in a few laps that it starts to come into play for these drivers' favors.
Yeah, the 01 Alex Bergeron has of yet to make a pass for a position out on the racetrack. He sits currently in that 5th spot right where he started. So trying to figure something out, trying to figure where the speed is, maybe conserving tires, obviously with the limited number of trucks that we do have in the field here tonight. So it's going to make an all-important green flag pit stops, long green flag runs. Those are all going to come into effect here tonight once these trucks really get spread out. We see them now pretty much single file throughout. And you'll see different lines already start to open up throughout these corners. Byron Daly still continues to lead, about a half second now over E.J. O'Rourke. E.J. O'Rourke has settled in after that little bobble off of turn 2 just a couple of laps ago. I like that 10 of Richard Beasley as well. A couple laps it took. He lost a couple spots early on, but he's really settled in right there in that 4th spot.
Yeah, and as for that 41 car, I wouldn't say settled in. I've been watching him pretty closely coming off the corners. He seems to be a little loose coming off. He wiggled coming off of 2 that last time by, gave Chad Coleman a little bit more time to catch up there. Richard Beasley, I'd say he's pretty content after losing that many spots, coming off, just riding there, conserving his tires, just like many of these other drivers.
That they are. One of the guys to keep an eye on, one of the championship contenders, Paul Cooper, very good on the long runs over the course of the season. Currently in the 7th spot right now on the racetrack, up just 1 since the start of this race. Look for him to start climbing through. It takes about, I'd say, anywhere between now, this 10-lap mark, and the 15-lap mark. You'll really start to see the comers and the goers, the guys who maybe those first opening 10 laps kind of push the issue maybe. Some of the other guys, you'll start seeing them close the gap on those other guys, start to make passes because they were really conserving their tires in those first 10 to 15 laps or so. So it'll start seeing who's got what here. In this one, E.J. O'Rourke right now has closed the gap just a little bit on that 60 machine of Byron Daly. That could also be Byron realizing, I need to save my tires maybe a little bit. We get a long green flag run. He doesn't want to fall back definitely outside of the top 5 or anything like that. So right now with everybody lined up like they are. Oh, we do have a caution out on the speedway right now on lap number 11. And we'll try to see if we can figure out who it is. It might be the 16 machine of Alan Cryer. We'll take a peek, see if we can not figure that out. It is not him. He's just way off pace, but problems for somebody. We'll try to figure it out for you.
Seems to be 3 cars involved. I see Larry Pace, the 00 down there going into 1, just seemed to get connected with a few other cars that I can't really tell who got, but I just know I see Larry Pace going around.
Oh, yeah, it looks like right there the 11 truck of James Shipman just got into the back of him as the replay goes up on your screen. Just got into the back of that double zero of Larry Pace heading into turn number 1. So that'll bring out our first caution of the night. I'll tell you, one lucky driver right there is a 63 Garrett Smithley. On that high side, was able to avoid all of that happened, so he'll be able to continue on at speed. The pace car catches the field, and pit road's open. It's only been 12 laps, so we know how important tires are at this racetrack. Not surprised to see the leaders, the majority of them. Looks like the 99 of Tommy Ryan is going to stay out at least maybe to lead a lap, but it looks like the 60 Byron Daly is going to lead the field now. 2 pit stops here. Looks like the 19 of Tyler Dalton is going to stay out as well.
Yeah, but all these chase drivers are coming down for tires. They know exactly how important tires are here. 12 laps doesn't seem like a lot on paper, but for these machines and these tires coming off these corners, you're using up a lot of your tires, so they know how important they are. We'll see who can get it done on pit road.
Honestly, I don't expect anyone to take 2 tires, but if you're going to try it and see what it does for you, I guess 12 laps of green flag running would be the time to try it. It looks like the majority of them, looks like all of them now are going to take 4 tires as the left side goes up on all those trucks, and the race off pit road, not so much a race until you get back to about that 3rd position. Looks like Alex Bergeron. How about that move for him? Up 2 spots on the pit stop.
Yeah, definitely made up some ground there. You see Byron Daly winning off the race off pit road. The top 2 didn't really change, but Alex Bergeron, that's good for him coming off a big head of momentum coming off the win at Phoenix. He wants to get another one here, as Phoenix was his first win, shocking to most people last week. Phoenix was his first win, so he's looking for another one. He's got that winning fever going on.
Yeah, he definitely does have that winning fever, and wants to continue that here as we head into the off season as well too. So, not contending for the overall championship, but definitely a 2-point lead, or I should say a 6-point lead over the 20 of Chad Coleman for what would be the segment championship. So he may not be the overall champion, but he definitely has an opportunity here for a segment championship, as it looks like the 19 and 99 are actually going to stay out on this caution. So that's an interesting call, Chris. I really think they're going to get eaten up alive here.
Oh, yeah. EJ and Byron are going to have to be watching them on the start, because wheel spin is a thing. These cars, these trucks, I should say, can carry a lot of wheel spin, especially at Homestead. Not the right move, in my opinion, for them to stay out, but we'll see if they can make it work.
Now, if you're going to try it, you might as well try it early and see what can happen anyway, and maybe it sets you up for later on in the race. Maybe they're hoping for a quick caution too. Maybe give them a little bit of track position here. Tyler Dalton started 10th. Tommy Ryan started 7th, so not so much a huge movement for him, for those 2 drivers here early, but it'll put them on the front row for what would be our first American Ethanol restart of the night. Lap number 14 about to complete. That'll leave us about 86 laps left to go here in this one before we can crown a couple of championships here tonight on championship night for the SegPay. Pace car going to head to the safety of pit road. The leader, Tyler Dalton, on the outside. Green flag will wave. Pretty good jump. It looks like a little bit of wheel spin for the 99. He's actually going to pull down off the racetrack. Let those guys go. Good call for the 99 of Tommy Ryan there. Tyler Dalton's going to get eaten alive now in turn number 1, though. How about E.J. O'Rourke? Right place, right time on the restart. He's going to jump out to the lead, but he's got to not look back, because that 60 machine, Byron Daly's coming. So is the 01 and the 10 of Richard Beasley. Those guys 3 wide with Dalton in the 3.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get this track position early, really early, I should say, as Tyler Dalton's high, almost into the wall, but he thinks he's going to save it. He's going to stay up high, as he just loses a ton of positions. Like I said, not the smarter move to stay out. They tried it early. Still a lot of racing lap to go. We're only on lap 16 of 100. But Byron Daly and E.J. O'Rourke battling for the lead, and Alex Bergeron and Richard Beasley battling behind him. So these drivers are not letting up at all.
Oh, definitely not. We got 3 rows of side-by-side action right now for the top 6 spots as they run. Championship guys going at it right here. How about 3 of them right in a row there? Chad Coleman, the 20. You got Paul Cooper just to his outside. You got the 23 and J.D. Laird just behind him. Then you got that 60 machine still battling side-by-side for that top spot with E.J. O'Rourke. It looks like 2nd and 3rd have settled out. Alex Bergeron will take that spot. They'll single file out, at least for the time being. And a couple rows further back, you got J.D. Laird now to the inside of Paul Cooper. Byron Daly still struggling, trying to get him off, get that run and get off the corner there. But it looks like right there is 41 may have gotten into the wall there trouble, looks like, for that 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. He's going to drop all the way to the back of the field.
Definitely big trouble for EJ. He had a strong car, but Alex Bergeron's going to take his place, looking for the peaking on the inside of the 60 car of Byron Daly. If I were these chase drivers, I'd be trying to single file out, because right now they're just racing for second as that 60 car drives away. It looks like they have single file out now. Maybe they can charge up to the front, maybe challenge Byron for the win. But right now they're just the race is in front of them, so they got a lot of ground to make up.
That they do. All they can hope for is that 01 and the 10. Maybe have an opportunity to get around that 60. Puts them back in the clutches here. Side-by-side battle now for that fourth spot. Chad Coleman to the inside. Got Paul Cooper look to the outside. Almost going to go 3 wide here. Look at Justin Weaver now peeking to the outside. He's not going to have enough momentum, though. We'll continue the side-by-side charge. A little bit of an advantage, it looks like, on the top side as we're working close to that 20 lap mark here in 1 quarter, getting close to that 1 quarter distance there, Chris. It kind of looks like that top line maybe starting to work itself in here. So you see that 21 of Paul Cooper kind of have an advantage off these corners. It's not prominently noticeable as of yet, but it's just enough right now to keep him out in front.
Yeah, you see Paul Cooper pulling away because he can control a lot on the high side. He can control how much that inside driver can come up as he can pinch. Like he just cleared him and gets a rocket run off the high side from the 20 of Chad Coleman. So the high side does look to be coming in. So be sure to look for a lot of other drivers to be using that.
Yeah, you can already see even the front runners there not quite running on the white line through the corners. They're already moved up about a half a lane here. So you'll see that as the laps keep ticking off here. As you see Byron Daly, the 01 of Alex Bergeron as well, too, going through the corner. About a lane up off the bottom. The only one that time through 1 and 2 was that 20 of Chad Coleman, and you can see it didn't really give him an advantage at all. So already the driver's moving up the racetrack just a bit here. It's a high entry, kind of a kind of subtle arc. These corners aren't very sharp. They're very continuous, and you got to be very patient, get back onto that throttle as well. Otherwise, that outside wall can creep up on you pretty quickly on corner exit, and you don't want that. You'll end up slapping that and maybe possibly coming down, taking out a few drivers with you as well. I love what Alex Bergeron's done since this restart, though. He's been able to get up to that back bumper of Byron Daly, and he has not let him get by. There's only just maybe half a truck length to a truck length separating these guys, and it's been that way over the last 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, Alex Bergeron seems to just be patiently waiting behind that 60 truck of Byron Daly, maybe just saving his stuff. Another driver that's coming up is that driver in the 3rd position, Richard Beasley. He seems to be catching the 01 of Alex Bergeron, so maybe he'll have something to say about how this race plays out. But yeah, it just looks to everybody single file racing, just saving their stuff and not trying anything too big right now.
Couple of the drivers that stayed out on that restart, Tyler Dalton, Tommy Ryan, currently the last 2 trucks on the lead lap. They sit 12th and 13th already, over 5 seconds off of the race lead, so already not what they wanted after staying out, and I think they learned their lesson on this one. We'll see if anyone else tries that. I'm sure the rest of the field noticed what happened as well. Pretty good battle going up front, 3-4 trucks, all single file, battling it out. You got a little separation till you get back to that 5th place driver, the 20 of Chad Coleman. But you got 3 chase drivers right there in the top 5, all looking for the championship, as well as the 01 of Alex Bergeron looking for the segment championship, riding in that 2nd spot. We're quarter distance this next time by. We'll take this moment to step aside for a quick break. You're watching the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series Championship night right here on iRacing Live.
Once its sights are set, nothing can stop the ferocious lion from capturing its prey. Relying on keen senses, lions search patiently before striking with alarming speed. Wait for it. Gotcha, Mr. Piece of Rubbish. He is truly the master of his environment. Do good, be a lion.
You know, the straights are unbelievably long. The first time you come here, everyone tells you, you'll be flat out 6th gear for 20 seconds. First time I was here, I lifted halfway down the straight. I didn't believe that it was still going. I was waiting to brake, and I was back on the power. And the Porsche curves are extremely fast and extremely narrow, so it's a tricky track. And you know, every year I've come here, you learn something new every time.
Le Mans is so fast. Wherever you accelerate, you are over 150 miles per hour. Going there, I realized everything you have done before was nothing.
Welcome you back here to Homestead-Miami Speedway, the ASCORS SegPay Championship night for the Truck Series. 4 drivers came into tonight looking for that ultimate prize to be crowned champion of the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. Currently, who's leading all that? Well, it's Byron Daly. Started on the pole here tonight. He's led just about every single lap except under that first caution. He currently has a slight advantage, about a truck length, over the 01 of Alex Bergeron. Of course, Alex Bergeron not running for the overall championship, but he is running for that segment championship and getting it done right now on the racetrack. Top 5 has not changed since we went away on commercial. Not much change, in fact, throughout the field right now. Everybody pretty much single filed up. A little bit of separation that we've seen throughout all the every single one of these drivers. Even that 60 has pulled out a little bit here over that 01 of Alex Bergeron, and I expect that as the tires start to get more worn out. Like I said, that first run, you're going to start seeing these guys who pushed it early, who didn't, and you're going to start seeing some guys maybe possibly try to make a charge towards the front.
Yeah, you can definitely see all these drivers backing off as they see the run's going to go on longer. One driver who I would look to see get better towards the end of the race is that championship driver J.D. Laird. He's in the 7th position right now, separated by Justin Weaver. That's the driver in the middle of all these chase drivers. Hopefully he can get something on the started either this run or when green flag pit stops happen, get him back up in the mix, because he is a strong driver.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that loves the long green flag runs too as well. We talked to him last week. He was hoping for him last week at Phoenix. We got a couple of them, but it wasn't quite what he wanted. A couple cautions there towards the end of that race, but it was a fantastic one nonetheless, though. But J.D. Laird, of course, at this point, looking for that long run. Maybe try to fool somebody maybe on a pit road strategy here before this thing is done. 32 laps going to be complete this time by, just 68 left to go in this race, so getting closer and closer to that halfway point. We're getting closer and closer to that green flag pit stop as well too, as these drivers continue to run. Some guys way up on the racetrack, the 20, the 38, you can see them currently through 1 and 2, way up to that high side there. It hasn't hurt them, but at the same time they haven't really gained much on each other either.
Yeah, you see Byron Daly running the middle line there. That seems to be the line that most of these drivers up front are running. He's opened up a 5/10 lead on the 01 of Alex Bergeron, so maybe he's starting to push a little bit more, or Alex Bergeron pushed a little bit too early because he's falling off, and I think that 10 car of Richard Beasley seems to be catching him. So maybe Alex Bergeron used his stuff up just a little bit too early, hoping for another caution, but hopefully he can rally back.
Yeah, probably trying to push it to see what he could do, to see if he could even get by that 60 truck, at least in this opening part of the race. So either way it is, he's got the gap is definitely starting to stretch over the last couple of laps right now. Byron Daly in total control now off of turn number 4. He'll complete lap 34, and it looks like it'll push it up closer and closer to about a second, 3/4 of a second right now on the racetrack. So it's starting to spread out. It's starting to stretch out as far as the positions, as far as everybody going forward or going back. I'm looking back a little bit here, to Paul Cooper, Chad Coleman. How about Chad Coleman here with the run now to the outside of that 21 truck? That's one of the drivers already we see that has already started to work his way up. Saving tires is what that 20's doing. Put him up to 4th. How about on pit road already? At 23, J.D. Laird, we said, how about somebody trying to make some pit road strategy? Well, here he is on lap 35, coming down now this time, and looking to make the first green flag pit stop. Now the question is, so Chris, does he open the floodgates? Do we see more drivers come down and try something, or are these guys going to stay out as long as they possibly can?
I'd say you'd start to see more people come in, because you definitely don't want to get caught with J.D. Laird on fresh tires. He's one of these drivers. As he messed up on pit road a little bit, he had to back up into his stall. But yeah, I would say you'd see these drivers come down more, because as I'm looking at it now, the 21 of Paul Cooper is a little bent out of shape coming up off the corners. That opened up the door for Chad Coleman to go around him a few laps ago. So I would say you'd start to see these drivers come in within the next few laps.
We'll exactly get a taste of that, what we can see. We'll also see the difference. We'll keep an eye on J.D. Laird's lap times as he starts to make his way off of the access road, now back onto the racetrack on the back straightaway here. So finds himself 1 lap down now at this point. You see another driver coming down pit road, and it looks like it's the 00, Larry Pace. So he's coming from that 10th spot. He'll come down pit road now as well, and the rest of the drivers still out on the racetrack. How about the run so far for Garrett Smithley now? He's made his way around E.J. O'Rourke and finds himself now in the 8th spot here as they run, and pretty good job for him running this late in the race. A quick battle up front, though, has started to shape up here. That 10 of Richard Beasley, he's finally caught Alex Bergeron now, turn 3 and 4. You can see that 0-1 really move up the racetrack there in corner exit. Opens the door for the 10, but just not quite enough speed as of yet.
Yeah, and just behind them, you see Paul Cooper and Justin Weaver battling. So you get to see a couple of drivers who have saved their tires and a couple of drivers who have pushed their tires, as Justin Weaver gets up a little bit too high there, almost into the wall. So that battle seems to have ended. But yeah, the battle between Richard Beasley and Alex Bergeron seem to be shaping up here, as I think Richard Beasley has saved just a bit more tire than Alex on this run.
Just to give you an idea, so far on lap times, you're already looking almost a 2-second difference between our leaders race up front and our first guy to come down pit road, J.D. Laird, 1 lap down at 13th right now, but Byron Daly just ran a 33.8, and then you got to look at back to J.D. Laird, and he just ran a 32.7. So basically a second differential here. Look, I think it was more. It could have been because of the traffic he's going around right now, but J.D. Laird just about a second faster than these guys. So I think he's going to need a little bit more than that if he wants to make this strategy work out for him. 40 are going to be complete. 60 are going to be left to go as Byron Daly crosses that start-finish line and continues to stretch out that gap. Another 0.2 that time. It's a second and a half over that 01 of Alex Bergeron.
Yeah, the 20 car making his way down pit road now. That's Chad Coleman. He's one of those chase drivers, so you're definitely going to see these chase drivers come down pit road now. He saw the 23 go in, and he didn't want to waste any more time. As you said, J.D. Laird's just making quick work of these drivers. Hopefully he has enough to make quick work, get these drivers down. Hopefully he made the right strategy call, but you see all these chasers starting to come down now as a result of J.D.'s strategy call.
Yeah, it looks like Chad Coleman, about a 30-lap run is what he's looking at, because they did come down pit road around somewhere around lap 12, I think it was, under that first caution. So here he is on lap 41 making his pit stop, and I imagine he'll split these last 60 laps in half. So probably, pending on cautions, we'll probably see that 20 truck back down pit road somewhere around lap number 70. So this will be interesting to watch what he does and what we might see. Like Byron Daly do, does he stay out until that tank is absolutely empty and maybe try to make this on a one-stop race here to the end? I think it's going to be awfully tricky, seeing that these guys, actually they do run a full fuel cell. So I thought they had a slight difference on that, but they don't. So they're running a full fuel cell. So, I mean, in reality, you can get like 50, 55 maybe laps on a fuel tank for these drivers. So there's that possibility that Byron Daly may be trying to stretch it just to make one stop before this thing's over.
That is a possibility, but I say tires are really important here, especially driving for a championship. He did have that lead up on Alex Bergeron as we see him come down pit road. The last of the chase drivers to not hit pit road are Paul Cooper and Byron Daly. As you see J.D. Laird passing Paul Cooper. J.D. is a lap down, but you can just see how quickly he's caught everybody as a result of that pit stop, as Paul Cooper fishtailing it off of turn 2. So I'd say we start to see these drivers come down pit road real soon.
Yeah, the handling definitely starting to go away on these drivers. Some 30-plus laps now into this run here, and J.D. Laird still trying to get himself unlapped here as he races off of turn number 4. I'd find him about half a straightaway or so right now behind our current leader of Byron Daly. So other drivers to come down pit road. Chad Coleman, he's back out on the racetrack. Richard Beasley has pitted. He's back out on the racetrack. But look at the difference already just from the 20 and the 10. The 10 was battling for second with Alex Bergeron. Now finds himself behind Chad Coleman. So pretty interesting. And now you see Chad Coleman actually going to get the advantage over the 01 of Alex Bergeron. And that shows you just what 3 laps will do with fresher tires out there longer than those guys. And it gave him the advantage. Finds himself have a decent, comfortable lead right now in that 01 to 10. I do expect them to close the gap, though, now that they have the fresh tires. So it's going to be a matter of time to see that. J.D. Laird, though, pretty comfortable with those fresh tires. With about 10 laps, I believe it was, that he would end before everybody else. And currently still a lap down, trying to get his lap back. Byron Daly definitely starting to get bigger and bigger in his front windshield right now as Daly continues to work his way around this racetrack. He won't pit that time as he crosses the start-finish line, puts 46 laps down. And we get closer to that halfway point. So we'll see when does that 60 machine come down. Looks like him and Paul Cooper are the only ones that have decided of the championship guys have stayed out on the racetrack as of yet. You got about, looks like 6, maybe 7 drivers total have yet to come down pit road. Everybody else has already made that green flag pit stop. You see the 01, Alex Bergeron on the 10, and Richard Beasley. Those 2 drivers, just as they left off here, right back battling each other. They're also closing in on that 20 machine with Chad Coleman. Be a couple laps, I think, to see those guys able to get around that 20 machine.
Yeah, they're definitely moving. They got maybe a lap or 2 fresher tires than that 20 car of Chad Coleman. Another thing that plays in a factor with these tires is how you work the traffic. I don't think they have very much traffic in their way anymore, but just coming up on the high side or the low side, how this lap traffic moves between you just coming up through there, that also plays in the factor of how clear your tires are, as we see the 23 of J.D. Laird unlap himself from Byron Daly. So I would say either this time or next time by that 60 car, that 60 truck, I should say, should come down pit road, or he's just going to end up losing time to J.D. at this point.
Yeah, he's losing tons of time right there. You can see just how much he closed. He just got the pass on off turn 4 and already trying to stretch it out to half of a straightaway on that 60 machine of Byron Daly. Daly will stay out one more time, though, at least, as he goes by that access road into turn number 3, and he'll come down and put lap number 50 up on the board. So it's going to bring us right about to that halfway point the next time by. So J.D. Laird has unlapped himself, puts himself in that 7th spot now. He's already gained about a second and a half in that one lap that he had made around Byron Daly. So all is good in the world for J.D. Laird as of right now. He's got a pretty comfortable gap on what would be a battle for that 2nd spot, as you see Alex Bergeron now trying to work his way around that 20 machine of Chad Coleman.
Yeah, speaking of these 3 right here, they're just about half a straightaway behind the 60 truck at this point. So not really sure what the 60 strategy call is here, but if these people get in front of him, then he'll definitely need to come down pit road, or he's just costing himself tons of time. As you listen to his throttle, he's so far off the gas in that 60 truck. He has to wait so long to get back on, and it's just eating him up on the straightaway, just about half a straightaway, as Alex Bergeron falls back in the line behind Chad Coleman.
So Chad Coleman able to hang on to that spot for the time being as they work their way up to that number 60 machine, trying to unlap themselves as well. But we've crossed that halfway point of tonight's race. Let's take a look at our iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing, the world's premier online racing game with professionally organized racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and much, much more. Byron Daly continues to be your leader. 8 seconds he's got the gap over the 38 of Justin Weaver. E.J. O'Rourke sits in the 3rd spot. Garrett Smithley now up to 4th. James Shipman currently runs in the 5th spot. 6 goes to J.D. Laird. So the top 5 have yet to pit here. J.D. Laird, the first one to do that, finds himself now in 5th as they just change swap positions right there. A couple other drivers now making their way on to the lead lap. Currently in the 7th spot, Alex Bergeron, Richard Beasley 9th, Ninth goes to Tyler Dalton, and James Shipman rounds out your top 10.
Yes, you see the 11 of Tyler King, Larry Pace in the 12th position. James Shipman is in that 13th position. Tommy Ryan in 14th, and Alan Cryer, who is off the track now, he's in your 15th position.
That has been your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com and sign up today. You can use the LSRTV promo code by entering PR-2016 LSRTV when you register for a new iRacing membership. You get the late model free of charge, along with the 13 cars and 14 tracks that are included with a first-time subscription. Again, that's PR-2016 LSRTV when you register for that new membership. So we've crossed that halfway point. Byron Daly continues to stay out on the racetrack. I mean, absolutely just giving time basically away to J.D. Laird, Chad Coleman, Alex Berger, all those drivers that have already come down pit road. Then you look at guys like Garrett Smithley just now coming on pit road. He was 21 seconds off of the back bumper of Byron Daly, and now finally comes down to make his pit stop. So I definitely think that these guys are trying to make this a one-stop race. As you see that 63 getting a little squirrely coming onto pit road, trying to get that thing wound up to the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit that they have on pit road. So Garrett Smithley down pit road. He is one of the last of the drivers that have yet to pit. E.J. O'Rourke, Justin Weaver, Byron Daly now coming down pit road here. So your leader deciding to come down on lap number 56.
Yeah, finally seeing that 60 truck of Byron Daly hit pit road. He will, I think, forfeit the lead to J.D. Laird, if I'm not mistaken, as J.D. comes off of 4 this time. No, is he off of 4? Yes, he is off of 4, and he'll take that lead from Byron Daly. Byron Daly just gave time to J.D., but these fresh tires will play a big factor, so Byron looking to hold on to that as he makes his pit stop now.
Yeah, and the question now is going to be, I imagine, that 60 machine is done pitting unless we have a caution here tonight. So it's going to put him way far behind. But we know guys like J.D. Laird, how early he pitted. He cannot make it to the end of this one here. He does have to come down and pit. So now the question is, when he comes and pits, gets those 4 fresh tires, how far back off of the bumper of that 60 machine is he? And does he have enough laps to catch him before this thing is over? We'll find all that out, though. We'll let things cycle out through Byron Daly back out on the racetrack. Lap number 57 up on the board now. We're going to take a moment, step aside. You're watching the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series Championship Night right here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
So cool, yeah. Nate, what are you working on at the moment?
So I'm working on the animation for the game. We're working on getting pit crews fully developed, and that involves a lot of moving parts. So I'm going in and making sure that each moving part can dovetail smoothly into the next one, so that when you pull in for a pit stop, it looks like the real thing, as opposed to a bunch of jumbled pieces that suddenly stop and then go and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so cool, but why aren't you working on the time model? Nothing?
Well, welcome back here to Championship Night at Homestead-Miami Speedway for the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. But we can't forget everything that happens with this ASCORS SegPay Truck Series all season long. We got to thank SegPay, and for over 10 years, SegPay has been processing online payment transactions for merchants in all categories with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are the leader in card-not-present transactions and have a strong relationship with acquiring banks and with credit card schemes. Learn more at segpay.com. They are the proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. You can't forget about Garrett Smithley Racing either. They are the proud sponsor of Garrett Smithley and the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevy Camaro you can see in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So JD Laird, the strategy now, the tires are worn. Alex Bergeron has been able to get around him. Richard Beasley has been able to get around him. Chad Coleman's right there now ready to pounce on him. E.J. O'Rourke, though, continues to lead. Not by much, though. He's that last driver that's out there that still needs to come down pit road, make a stop. It might be this time here as he ducks to the inside. Alex Bergeron, the 10 of Richard Beasley, make their way around him. Now it's going to put the 0-1 to the lead. And E.J. O'Rourke now to pit road as he hits the access road in turn number 3. And you can see how slippery that is. It almost looks like he's dirt tracking it all the way around that thing. Coming off of turn number 4 there, and he'll get it slow. He's going to smack the barrels there, trying to get it slowed down. E.J. O'Rourke to pit road, and hopefully he didn't get a speeding penalty on that one. He was coming in pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick there for EJ, but we got a new leader in the 0-1 of Alex Bergeron. So he definitely made a good call there coming in, was able to fly by JD Laird as they approached him. Same with Richard Beasley. But let's not forget about that 60 truck of Byron Daly, who only sits 8 seconds behind Alex Bergeron. So he definitely, in my eyes, made the right call there by staying out. He's still on the lead lap, and he's looking to come back as he's sitting in that 5th position right now.
Yeah, he is sitting in that 5th position and gained half a second as well, too, on the race leader. Now up to 4th here as he was able to get around Paul Cooper. Well, actually move up that one spot from E.J. O'Rourke coming down pit road. So Byron Daly now in 4th, 7.5 seconds back now from the race lead. Alex Bergeron is a 10. Looks like Richard Beasley struggling the last lap or so right now. He has lost touch with that 0-1 of Alex Bergeron now. It's just about 12, 15 truck lengths now as they head back into turn number 1. Bergeron lets the 12 of Tyler King get by. Tyler King, that'll get him 1 lap back. He has made his final pit stop, so he gets 1 of those laps back right there. So now the question is, does the 0-1 have enough to make it to the end? Does he have enough to hold on to Byron Daly? Does he have to pit again? That's going to be the big question. We know J.D. Laird has to pit, or at least come down pit road one more time. He's still out on the racetrack, though. He's lost all those positions he's gained. Currently sits 9th on the racetrack, but we're at that point here. 35 laps to go this time. I expect to see that 23 here any moment to come down pit road. That's his only shot with the fresh tires to try to make up any ground and maybe try to get by that 60. The problem is I think he's going to run out of laps.
I'd say he might run out of laps. The best thing for JD Laird at this point would be a caution to come out, as he seems to be a lap down. Alex Bergeron getting a little squirrely off these corners. I'd see him come back down. Same with Richard Beasley and Chad Coleman. I'd say they'd come down. Byron Daly only 5 seconds back from that leader now, as yeah, JD Laird did come down pit road. He sits back in the 10th position now, 1 lap down.
Yeah, so I did mistake that. We missed it. J.D. Laird did come down pit road. You can see how quickly he just got around that 21 of Paul Cooper. So now it puts him his final stop. Fresh tires. Problem is he's a lap down. So he may catch the leaders, get by them, but then he's still got to go all the way around this 1.5 mile speedway to get by him again. The leader, Alex Bergeron, just now entering to turn number 1 here. And you see J.D. Laird just a little bit over half a straightaway behind him. So he's got a lot of work to do to get up by him, but then he's got to make it all the way around, basically some 32 seconds-ish. He's got to make up. That's a lot to ask for, but you got to give him the A for effort for the try.
Yeah, he definitely tried something. He was the first car down pit road. Didn't necessarily work out in the way he had hoped, I would say, but good effort by him. Hopefully he can rebound, get back up there. As we go back up to the lead now, Richard Beasley, who lost tons of time coming off of 4 a few laps ago, has now rebounded and find himself catching the 01 of Alex Bergeron, looking to maybe make a battle out of this this lead.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Garrett Smithley in the picture as well, too. He sits one lap down. Here comes the 10, Richard Beasley. He's going to make his final pit stop as he hits to the access road in turn number 3 there. So this is the call that I think the 01 has to come down pit road. Now that I see that guy, now that I see Richard Beasley and the 10 come down, we got 30 laps left to go here. So I expect that 01 truck back to pit road. He can't waste any more time, though, because currently Byron Daly shown in second, just 2.5 seconds back. Any time longer stayed out there, it's just going to mean that much more time that 01 is going to have to make up under the green flag conditions. Here he comes. Just as I said, he must be listening to the broadcast, because here comes the 01. Alex Bergeron making his way down pit road. The 60 of Byron Daly will make his way around him. You got J.D. Laird looking to unlap himself right now off of turn number 4. He's only a couple car lengths back, so he's there. He's got 30 laps to do it, though, but I think that's he's got to gain over a second a lap, and he's got to do it for 30 laps. It's going to be a real tough feat.
Yeah, I'd say the real winner here out of these green flag pit stops would be Byron Daly. We were scratching our head at him to see how long he would actually stay out, but he was able to stay on the lead lap, and now he has regained the point. So great move by the 60 truck of Byron Daly. The next chaser to him would be Paul Cooper, and he sits 4 seconds behind him. So definitely good move by the 60 truck there, and he doesn't look to be stopping now.
That was a good call by the 60. Byron Daly puts himself in a pretty good position right now. Gained up another 10th that last lap on Paul Cooper as well, too. So in the driver's seat here, barring obviously a caution to come out, that would definitely change things around just a little bit here before this thing is all said and done. So we'll see what plays out and what can happen. But hopefully we'll take our final pit stop here tonight. We'll do it right now so we don't miss a moment of the action. We'll go LSRTV nonstop as well, too, as these guys battle it out for 2 championships here tonight. Not only the segment championship that the 01 of Alex Bergeron is going for, but as well the overall championship with the 4 drivers battling that. Currently, Byron Daly leads that right now as they run. He's got a 5-second lead now over Paul Cooper as they head down and try to complete lap number 73. We'll be right back right here. It's the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series on LSRTV and iRacing Live. Welcome back here to Homestead-Miami Speedway, the NASCAR SegPay Championship night. 4 drivers, 1 race, 1 champion. And right now, Paul Cooper trying to do whatever he can. It's not working, though. He's down 6.6 seconds right now to Byron Daly. Looking for the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series Championship here tonight. And he's only going to have 23 laps to get it done this next time by. And I'll tell you what, he's been the class of the field all night, dominating fashion. Started on the pole. He's been leading tons of laps, except for the pit stops, except for that 1 caution flag when a couple guys stayed out. But other than that, Byron Daly showing the way here. He's about to let the 10 of Richard Beasley get around him. That's going to unlap the number 10. That's going to put 7 trucks back on the lead lap now. Chad Coleman, Alex Bergeron just behind them. That is basically the battle for the segment championship. The problem is Chad Coleman came into this 6 points back. Now, yes, he's finishing right now. He's ahead of the 01. But he needs to beat him by 7 positions. It's going to be a tough feat right now with both of those drivers running inside the top 10.
Yeah, Alex Bergeron definitely having a really, really good race. So it's definitely going to be tough for Chad Coleman to try to gain 7 positions, maybe even 1 position on Alex Bergeron, as you look to see them coming up on the 60 truck of Byron Daly. They look to be unlapping themselves now. I'd say good run for the 60 truck of Byron Daly. He's been dominating from the start, so I don't think they'll have enough laps to make it all the way back around to him.
Now, the only person that I think had the opportunity would be J.D. Laird. He's continuing to close the gap, but he's closing the gap only about a tenth or two per lap right now. Sits 30.5 seconds back in that 6th spot. So an A for effort, a valiant effort for the 23. And I think he figured the only way, and I think he mentioned this last week too when we talked to him after that race in Phoenix, was that he knew the 60 was going to be fast. We all knew 60 was going to be fast, especially at this 1.5 mile speedway. And I think he mentioned that, I'm going to have to try something. I'm going to have to try some sort of pit strategy to see if I can make it work and see if it can put me out on top. But he tried it. He's basically the only of the other 3 chase drivers that did try it. The rest of them stayed out on the racetrack and tried to run with the 60 and kind of pit around the same time as him. Paul Cooper, one of those. Cooper currently in that 2nd spot, but he's about 8.5 seconds off. So the speed just not there when he needs it right now. 20 laps to go, 19 when they come across the start-finish line right now. Alex Bergeron just ahead of Byron Daly, had just gotten around Chad Coleman, so that puts him now up into that 8th spot and puts him back in basically total command of the segment championship as well. Those drivers run 8th and 9th right now on the racetrack. J.D. Laird gained another half a second or so right there. That last lap still, though, over 29 seconds behind Byron Daly. A caution at this point would be the only thing that could save these guys and give them another shot.
Yeah, a caution would definitely bring a smile to each one of these drivers' faces, put them right back up there with Byron. I'd say everybody would come down pit road, get fresh tires. That would just push the reset button on this entire race, this entire run, and I'd say we'd see a good battle for it. But right now everybody's strung out, so a caution not so likely at this moment in time, as you see Alex Bergeron slowly catching that 10 truck of Richard Beasley and slowly pulling away of that 20 of Chad Coleman. So he seems to be cementing his place in this segment champion.
Yeah, he definitely is, and obviously getting the win last week just helps the cause. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of a neat feat to win the championship and not get a race win, but you solidify, I think, that championship by getting to victory lane, and he did that last week. So obviously that win helped him and propelled him into the lead for the championship. Otherwise, I think you'd be seeing that 20 machine have the lead coming into tonight. Then it would have been all about, as they run right now. If he didn't get that win last week, he could be 2-3 points behind Chad Coleman, and right now only be gaining 1 of those points. So it could really mean all for nothing for that 0-1. But the win last week definitely helped him out coming in here tonight, and he's getting the job done now here with just a mere 17 laps left to go for that 0-1. And all he's got to do is keep that 20 in his rearview mirror, and he can call himself a champion as well. Byron Daly, though, continuing to stretch the lead out. It's about a 10-second gap now on Paul Cooper, who still sits in that 2nd spot. James Shipman runs 3rd currently in that 11 truck. How about him starting dead last here tonight, up to 3rd here. A few laps to go. It looks like he may lose another position to maybe Justin Weaver, but it looks like he's got a pretty comfortable lead over that 5th place driver right now of Tommy Ryan. So James Shipman, how about that? A great run for him in the season finale as well.
Yeah, James Shipman, one of those people we haven't talked about much today, is having a really good run, just flying under the radar, just keeping to himself, running his own race, as we see Justin Weaver slowly catching up to him. So he may lose that 1 position, but in the grand scheme of things, he seems to be set up pretty well for this race to end the season finale on such a high note for him. So good run for him, and look to see more out of him.
Yeah, late entry into the season, but a good opportunity for a solid top 5 before this thing's all said and done. Looks like problems for Garrett Smithley on the back straightaway. Gets that gathered up, gets it going straight there, but looks like maybe problems, a spin off of turn number 2. Looks like that truck definitely ill-handling, some damage on it as well, too, for that 63 machine, but he'll keep it straight, keep it going on the racetrack right now, and we'll stay under the green flag conditions. Byron Daly works his way through turns 3 and 4 now. This time he's got the 41 E.J. O'Rourke trying to unlap himself to try to put 10 trucks back on the lead lap before this thing is all said and done. The lead, well, it's just about 12 seconds now as he crosses the start-finish line right there. 13 laps left just for a championship for Byron Daly.
Yeah, Byron Daly, you hear your spotters say the 63 truck is around off of 4, or into 3, I should say, on the back straightaway, as he seems to be having more problems. Garrett Smithley just squarely off of each corner. You hear that. Byron Daly must have been shaking his head, but when you hear that you're still under green, it must have calmed him down a little bit. The chase driver certainly wanted to see that caution come out, but they're not going to get it yet.
No, they're not going to get it yet, and they got to be careful, too. There is no overtime in iRacing on these servers as well, too. So once we get about to that 5 or 4 lap to go mark, a caution would end the race right then and there, and we would pace under caution for the final remainder laps, which makes it, I guess, an easy win at that point for Byron Daly. So basically he wants to run to about that lap 95 mark, 96, and once he gets to that point, whatever happens after that, I'm sure he doesn't care at that point. But he's getting the job done now, 11 laps, so after he crosses the start-finish line this time, and almost a 13-second gap now on Paul Cooper. James Shipman still trying to hang on to that position. Justin Weaver all over his back bumper now into 3.
Yeah, Justin Weaver's been trying every which way to get around this 11 car, but the 11's just holding on, saying, no, I want this position. So you would see the Justin Weaver's making, trying the high side, the low side, anywhere he can get beside this 11 truck, and it just doesn't seem to be working out, as you see him really high up there in turns 1 and 2, but he looks like he's going to get the run off here and be on the back bumper of the 11.
And he finally gets that run he's been wanting over the last few laps here. Justin Weaver will pull up even now as they head to turn number 3. He'll get the slight nose advantage now. Can he hang on to that position now? It looks like he will. The 11 slips up just a bit through center off there. It's a little loose maybe off the corner exit. He'll stay on that back bumper, but Justin Weaver, move him up a spot now, up to 3rd.
Seems to be a little contact on with the 11 and the 38. The 11 giving the 38 a little bump going to that corner. You see him rallying back on the inside. This just gives a whole bunch of time for Tommy Ryan to catch up. He's still a good ways back. Oh, it looks like he's finally killed himself, and there goes Justin Weaver away. So still a bit back to the 5th position of Tommy Ryan. So James Shipman still having a good race so far.
Yeah, he is in just about 9 laps or so to hang on to about a 9-second lead, or gap, I should say, back to Tommy Ryan. So a good opportunity here. James Shipman to finish in that 4th spot, as long as he can hang on to that thing before it's all said and done. 8 laps left to go now as Byron Daly works his way off of turn number 4. He keeps stretching out that lead. Paul Cooper over 14 seconds, probably closer to 15 by the time he crosses the start-finish line this time. And Justin Weaver now has moved up into the 3rd spot. James Shipman 4th. Alex Bergeron now has gotten around Tommy Ryan, and that puts him now into that 5th spot. So a good recovery after having to make that extra pit stop. You're looking at those drivers that did. Alex Bergeron 5th, Richard Beasley in 6th, and then you got Chad Coleman in 8th. J.D. Laird currently the last truck in 9th on the lead lap. Byron Daly has not allowed that 41 to get by him, and he's going to get 7 laps to go now as he crosses the start-finish line.
7 laps to go here. Doesn't seem like a caution's going to come out, and if a caution did, it seems like the race would pretty much either have a 1-lap shootout or end at this point. So looks to be a good race for Byron Daly if he can just ride it out here. Almost a 16-second lead going into 3 over Paul Cooper. Alex Bergeron and Chad Coleman find themselves in front of J.D. Laird, but they all just seem to be racing for that 2nd spot at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what they see they're looking for right now. J.D. Laird able to get around that 99 of Tommy Ryan just there into turn number 1, so that moves him up to the 8th spot now, and I don't think he has enough to catch Chad Coleman and Richard Beasley just ahead of him. The 0-1 machine right now, Alex Bergeron, trying to get around that 19 of Tyler Dalton. Dalton, of course, 1 lap down right now, but Alex Bergeron still working his way up, trying to see if he can not catch that 38 before this thing's all said and done. He's running out of laps, though, as they run right now. And as they run right now, how about 5 laps left to go for Byron Daly? And basically at this point, a caution would end the race. Byron Daly has this thing on cruise control here with over a 16-second lead.
Yeah, I'd say Alex Bergeron pretty much saying the same thing. He's got a good lead of Richard Beasley and about a 3-second lead over Chad Coleman. So he's sitting real good for the segment championship. So Alex Bergeron and Byron Daly had a great race today, great finish, what they wanted to see out of today, and they seem to be just riding it out at this point.
That's all you can do, even for the drivers with the worn-out tires. Guys like J.D. Laird, who gave that valiant effort to try a pitch stop strategy to come in extra time, come down early, try to short pit these guys, and made an effort for it. Got himself up towards the top, but then once those guys came out with the fresh tires, it really left him out to dry on that one there. So Byron Daly, comfortable lead at this point. He's got that thing on autopilot as he works his way through 3 and 4, and he'll have just 3 laps to go this time by.
Yes, 3 laps to go. Race winding down. Not very many cautions. Only 1 caution out of this race. So, like you said at the top of the broadcast, long green flags runs at this place, and it's shown who can save their tires the best and who can make the right call. And Byron Daly definitely did make that right call, as Paul Cooper 17 seconds now behind him. It's just riding it out at this point.
That it is. Byron Daly, talk about him, a full season run for him. He's had a great season so far. 3 wins on the season, not counting tonight because we're not over yet. 2 laps to go here as he crosses the start-finish line. But it took him a long time to get that first win. He got that first win at Milwaukee just a couple of months ago. It was the last race before the chase. He got the win there, backed it up with a win at New Hampshire. It took a couple weeks for him to get that 3rd win, but he got it at Martinsville. So flat tracks is what got it done for Byron Daly. Got 3 wins in 5 races for that driver. We haven't seen him in victory lane in a couple of weeks, but he's looking awfully stout right now as he works his way off turn 4 for what would be the final lap as the white flag waves.
Yeah, everybody seems to be single file spread out, so you're not going to see too much racing. Everybody just riding out, just wanting to cross the finish line, finish this race, finish the season on a great note. Byron Daly, not necessarily a flat track by a long shot Homestead, but he's going to pick it up in a dominating fashion as he goes into 3. Alex Bergeron looking to stay, about 3 seconds ahead of Chad Coleman, so he looks to be bringing home the segment championship and crossing the line. Byron Daly will get it done and win the race.
Yeah, fantastic job. Byron Daly wins the race and wins the championship. It's the ASCORS SegPay Championship, and Byron Daly is your champion for 2016. Doesn't get the segment championship. That'll go to Alex Bergeron. He crosses the line ahead of Chad Coleman, and he gets the job done right there. And Alex Bergeron will go on as your segment championship here in segment number 2. Byron Daly, though, a class act and a dominating performance here at Homestead-Miami Speedway in the season finale. He gets the job done and gets the win and gets the championship. A fantastic job by him. He'll burn it down on the front straightaway. Byron Daly, much deserved here, a champion at ASCORS. We'll take a look at our full field rundown. Byron Daly, of course, picking up the victory. Paul Cooper, a fantastic chase run for him as well. Finished 2nd here tonight. He'll finish 2nd in the championship standings as well. Alex Bergeron will end up coming home in that 3rd spot. What a fantastic run there at the end. Gets himself into that 3rd spot for finishing position. James Shipman will finish 4th. Justin Weaver comes home in the top 5. Richard Beasley will finish 6th. 7th goes to Chad Coleman. J.D. Laird will finish 8th. 9th and last truck on the lead lap will be Tommy Ryan. E.J. O'Rourke will round out your top 10.
Yeah, in that 11th position, you see Tyler Dalton, Tyler King in the 12th position, Garrett Smith in the 13th, Larry Pace in the 14th position, and that 16 truck of Alan Carrera in the 15th position.
So that's your full field rundown here tonight, and a fantastic one for the season finale for the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series Championship night, and it all comes down to the end. Byron gets the series championship, and Alex Bergeron might catch up with 2nd place finisher tonight, Paul Cooper, as well. We'll all do that next on the LSRTV post-race show right here on iRacing Live.
You'll be flat out 6th gear for 20 seconds. First time I was here, I lifted halfway down the straight. I didn't believe that it was still going. I was waiting to brake, and I was back on the power. And the Porsche curves are extremely fast and extremely narrow, so it's a tricky track, and every year I've come here, you learn something new every time.
Le Mans is so fast. Wherever you accelerate, you are over 150 miles per hour. Going there, I realized everything you have done before was nothing.
Welcome you back here to Homestead-Miami Speedway. We just concluded the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series for 2016. The season finale, the championship night right here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And a championship it was to be had, 2 of them to be exact, a segment championship as well as the overall series championship. And they were all played out right here in 100 laps, 150 miles. First, we're going to send it down pit road, though. See if we can not catch up to our second place finisher, Paul Cooper. He's standing by with Chris Murdoch right now, and Paul Cooper, one of those guys that had a fantastic season, a very quiet season, but he got it done when it mattered the most there in the final chase for the championship. There had some great runs, picked up a win as well too, back there at Texas a couple weeks ago. But he's down on pit road and he's caught up with Chris.
Yeah, I've stumbled down to Paul here in this 21 truck. He had a great race, finishing in that second position. Probably not what he would hope to see, but how'd this race for you go, Paul?
It's pretty good. Like I said before, I wasn't really expecting to be in the chase. To come home second was great. Just got to thank everyone in Swan. Big thanks to Jordan. Everyone over there has helped me out. Big congratulations to Byron. He completely dominated the whole race. It was just something where you just played your cards and whatever happened, and I'm just happy to come away with second. It's a long race. We only had one caution, so it was basically who had the most speed throughout the whole race.
Yeah, congrats to you on a second place finish. Good run for you. Obviously, we're going to give you a chance to shout out any sponsors you would like to shout out to get you through this season.
Like I said before, big shout out to everyone on Swan, Chad, JD, Byron, Jordan. Big shout out to Jordan. I mean, just the regular old folks who help me out every day. Alan, it was great to run in ASCORS. Hopefully we come back next year, have a bigger field towards the end of the year.
And that's been your driver of the number 21 truck, finishing second today. I'm going to throw it back up to Andy in the booth.
So there he was, Paul Kuber, having a fantastic season, picking up the win I mentioned back at Texas a couple weeks ago in the championship hunt, and got himself locked into this final championship run here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It did a great job nonetheless. Finished second, obviously quite a ways back behind Byron Daly, but he was able to get the job done and put out a good showing for himself and his 21 truck team. But I'm on the championship stage now, and we'll try to get a hold of our segment championship winner, and of course that was the 01 of Alex Bergeron. And I'll send the mic down to series admin JD Laird. He's got the presentation.
Well, Alex, it's been a little bit of a trying season, but I'd like to congratulate you on clinching the 2016 ASCORS SegPay Truck Series Segment 2 Championship. One win, and yeah, I really appreciate you committing to the whole year. I know the car counts have been dropping as the season went on, but I know we had our differences earlier this segment, but you did a hell of a job all segment, and congratulations.
Thanks.
So Alex, one win. You got a win last week at Phoenix. You said you were happy with that. It finally came to. You know, you had a lot of good finishes over the course of the season. Just couldn't quite get that win. You got the win last week at Phoenix. Carried that momentum in here to tonight. Had a good run up there battling for that lead at times. Had the lead. Led some laps here tonight, but obviously the strategy Byron had over you guys just wasn't enough for you guys to overcome here with that long green flag run.
Yeah, it was kind of strategy and tire saving, and I all messed up my tire saving. So it's completely, I completely missed my race about it. But Byron did an excellent job. Did a great strategy, but yeah, I clinched the championship or the segment, so I'm happy with that, and happy with the third place tonight. So.
Yeah, you had a fantastic segment nonetheless. 12 starts. You made all 12 starts. 6 poles. You definitely had speed out there. You got the one win we mentioned, and then you had 7 top 5s, 8 top 10s, with a good average finish of a 7.3. Definitely one of the better ones, if not the best one, as far as the 12-start average. So you got to be pretty happy with that. It's been a pretty good season. Quiet, like I said early on, just kind of getting into the series, getting used to the drivers. You did that. You come out with the victory. You come out with the Segment 2 championship. We'll give you this opportunity, Alex. Sponsors, shout-outs. Who helped you get it done all season?
I'd like to thank Smaro Inc., Apex Racing UK, Apex Racing Academy, for all the help and for the team, Infinitive Creative Solution for the paint scheme, and GCL Sim Racing, Lil Bornar, and all the rest of Apex Racing UK sponsor. Yeah, and you guys at LSRTV for an excellent job.
We appreciate that, Alex, and we congratulate you, all of us here at LSRTV.
Oh yeah, and yeah, sorry, I would like to thank also SegPay for sponsoring, well, for ASCORS GD for admin, and everybody else for putting that series. It's been a good segment for me.
Well, we appreciate that, Alex, like I said, and congratulations again from everyone here at LSRTV on your segment championship, and hopefully we'll see you on the track soon.
Thanks, Andy.
So there you have it, our Segment 2 championship, and while we're on the stage, just might as well bring him up. How about Garrett Smithley, of course, with SegPay and sponsoring of this ASCORS Truck Series. And Garrett, it's been a fun season. I know we saw some limited runs from you, but a lot of competition out there. Man, it didn't make it real easy for anybody out there.
Yeah, I knew going into it I was gonna struggle. These guys are the best of the best on the service, and I've never claimed to be super good at iRacing, but I had a lot of fun out there. I do want to say before we present the trophy, it's been a pleasure working with LSRTV, everybody who makes this happen. Brian Schoenburg and JD Laird for having the vision to do this, bringing ASCORS back. I wasn't a part of the original ASCORS back in our 2K3 days, but it was really, really cool to make this happen. I wanted to do something special because iRacing is so important to me. I use it as a training tool. It's really cool to use in my real racing. So I want to do something different this year, and having SegPay on board, my real world sponsor. Hopefully we're going to do some more with them in the future, but bringing them on board over to the ASCORS Truck Series, it's been awesome. LSRTV for doing a great job all year. Everybody in the booth. Special shout out to Laura. I mean, she's been an absolute champion here, and special it's been really, really fun to race with these guys, and shout out to Paul Cooper, Chad Coleman, and JD for just coming up short, but doing a really good job all year and bringing home second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, it was a great championship run as well, and we got our championship winner here, Byron Daly, as well too. And I know you got some special words for him too, Garrett.
Yeah, with all that said, it's my honor to congratulate you, Byron, on an awesome run all year. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for I know you got a lot of stuff on your plate in the real world racing working for RCR, but thanks for sticking around, and congratulations on the first annual SegPay Truck Series.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a fun year. I will say it's always been cool to get to race these guys on Wednesday nights, and besides some of the other stuff I do, this kind of went the best of everything this year, so it's nice to have something go right, I guess. But yeah, I'm actually kind of wore out a little bit because I went mountain biking before this race and just got back in time to practice, so it was fun. It was really cool, and hopefully we'll get to do it again sometime soon.
Well, Byron, we talk about a championship, a full season championship. A lot goes into it, a lot of effort, a lot of making the races, and obviously it's a hobby for a lot of people, and some people are really good at it, some are do it to have fun, and you're obviously do it for both. You're really good at it, and you have some fun at it. It was kind of a slow start though to the season, as far as you had good runs, good finishes, and things like that. But it took a long time till you got to victory lane, all the way to Milwaukee just a couple months ago, right before the chase started. But then all of a sudden it was like, wow, what happened? 4 wins in the last 8 weeks or 9 weeks or so. Just a phenomenal run to the championship for you.
Yeah, the beginning of the year was pretty bad in about everything I did. I had some equipment set up that I don't think was the best thing out there. I kind of switched back about before the summer, and things started to get a little better. And yeah, overall, those flat tracks are pretty good to me. So it's definitely kind of a little disappointing it took so long, but I'm not totally surprised where I got those. And the end of the season is definitely a little bit easier to try to get that done, and it was fun though. And yeah, so I'm hoping next year that I can actually start the year off and be decent instead of terrible and kind of just get lucky throughout the year. But yeah, we'll see what we do next year.
I'm sure the rest of the field doesn't want to see you get off to the start that you had here to finish off the season. But overall, it was awesome. Dominating performances from you in all 4 of your wins here towards the later half of this series or this season, I should say, and of course this segment. But a long run, many races, a lot of long nights on Wednesday nights to get it done here, Byron. And we'll give you this opportunity. Sponsor shout outs, anybody you'd like to thank.
I just want to thank Focus 7. You can find them on Amazon. Great company, great product. I use it whenever I have an extra box sitting around. I gotta go order me some actually. You guys for broadcasting these. They're pretty fun to watch after. And yeah, just the guys at ASCORS that put the league on and let me come out here and race. Unfortunately, I can't really race that many leagues because there's regulations against that, so it's kind of fun to get to relax a little bit and just, enjoy iRacing and, just go out there and have some fun.
Well, you had some fun, and you did it in a big way. Come out as a 2016 ASCORS SegPay champion, and congratulations again. And from everyone here at LSRTV, wish you the best, and hopefully we'll see you on the track soon.
Thank you.
So there you have it, guys. Chris, just I think a phenomenal run for the championship for Byron, and I mean all these guys, all four of these guys that put it all out on the line all season long. All the way back from Daytona back in February to now in October. I mean, that's a long season. Even, they talk about NASCAR having such a long season from February to November. But, I mean, to do that in iRacing as well, I mean, it's a long season. Most seasons you see in most of these leagues are, 12 weeks, 13 weeks maybe. They try to do 3 or 4 seasons a year in a calendar year. But these guys, one season right from February to October here, get a nice little break before they start the next one.
Yeah, these seasons definitely are not easy to do, especially with a bunch of real-world stuff going on. Like Garrett Smithley mentioned, he's got a lot of stuff going on with real-world racing. Byron Daly, RCR. It's not easy for these guys to show up every Wednesday night and put on a good show for us. But there's one champion, actually 2 champions in Alex Bergeron, but none of these drivers should be upset with the way they ran tonight. Everybody had such a good season. Everybody put on a great show, and it was a great way to end the season.
Yeah, it definitely was. And to see these guys get all the way to the end, those 4 drivers with an opportunity to win the championship coming into tonight was definitely something fun to watch. One last time, of course, SegPay. For over 10 years, SegPay has been processing the online payment transactions for merchants in all categories, with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are a leader in card-not-present transactions, have a strong relationship with acquiring banks and with credit card schemes. Learn more at segpay.com. They are the proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. Of course, Garrett Smithley Racing, the proud sponsor of Garrett Smithley, and the number 0, JD Motorsports, Chevy Camaro, in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Just a fantastic season. Want to thank everybody from ASCORS, everybody behind the scenes, JD Laird, Brian Schoenburg, all the work that they did all season long to keep these going, and just a phenomenal job. And to all the drivers that made it out each and every week, all the way from February to now. Just a great turnout for all these guys. A great championship run. Congratulations to all the winners from all season long, and of course to the 3 champions, I should say. Segment 1, we can't forget, JD Laird picked up the championship. Segment 1, of course, segment 2, you had Alex Bergeron, and then the overall champion, Byron Daly, who just basically turned on the Jets 1 week before the chase started, picks up 4 wins and just dominates, and has a fantastic run here tonight at Homestead to lock it up too as well. So with all that said, everybody involved with the league, everybody involved with the broadcast with me all season long, I want to thank them, everybody at LSRTV, of course, with everything they do, not only with the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series, but with every other series that you can see all week long as well too. Want to thank everybody that. Want to thank the broadcast crew, of course, myself, Chris Murdoch here tonight, and as always, you can't forget the lovely and talented Cisco Scar Music, getting that picture to you. And want to thank everybody for tuning in for this race, for all the races throughout the whole season, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the track next time.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.